Hello. How's everyone? I still don't want to be in front of the camera. How's everybody? I'm good. I am indeed. Can you hear me well? If you're annoyed, well, hopefully you won't be by the end of this. Well, this ain't me. I never want to be on the camera. You can hear, okay. Lord. Okay, so I posted a question on my community post um, about the Amy Cooper who called the police on the guy bird watching. And I'm going to read some of the comments I got. I asked whether or not, if you were the judge, what would you do? Would you community service sensitivity training? Would you slap on the wrist? Would you give her a good stern talking to? Or would you throw her in jail? Because she faces up to a year in jail for filing a false police report, basically, or calling the cops when there was nothing wrong. So, I'm going to read some of this. My feeling is she deserves both, is what someone said. Jail time for her. She lied, and the tape is evidence. Thank you, Cecil. An example should be made out of her. This man could have lost his life if an officer like Chauvin had showed up. She should get jail and fined for this. She should be sent to jail, period. So the majority is sent to jail, sent to jail, sent to jail. Because she did lose her job. So she sort of got some blowbacks. They said she apologized. This woman reported to the police she was being assaulted by an African American man, knowing the police would come to her aid with the intent to harm the assailant. So there's that. 1 year would give her lots of time to consider what she did wrong. Accountability and responsibility are components to being an adult. Actions have consequences. Jail time and community service, and mandatory psychiatric visits for a year. She's got a screw loose. In this case, give her the max. The cry wolf scenario does harm on many levels. Karen and her friends need a wake-up call. Both jail, and while she is in there, some serious sensitivity training. If we start prosecuting these people with public trials, maybe it'll stop. Jail time. Her victim, Mr. Cooper, could have been murdered by the police. Someone says I'm a little in the middle of the road. I would have her do time. I don't know what the statute allows, but maybe make her also pay a fine, something like $5,000. Both. She needs to learn a lesson and needs sensitivity training. Someone else said, I really had to think about this. I think the punishment for her crime should be meted out very carefully. In the case of jail time, it's almost an easy way out. Since she considers people of color an enemy, let them be the ones she does community service to. Okay. Make an example out of her. Yes, she needs to go to jail. Another thing that slipped into my train of thought is if I could alter just one aspect of the prison systems across the country, it would be this: hire mental health practitioners to rehabilitate the prisoners. I like that idea. Because you put them in there and they're in there, but who is coming to see them and work out why it is that got them there? 400 hours of community service at a soup kitchen for the homeless. If I were the judge, I'd throw the book at her in order to let others who have experienced the same know that it is not worthwhile, or it is worthwhile to come forth and tell people you have been victimized. The maximum fine allowed and the maximum time in jail. The maximum fine allowed and reduced sentence to 2 to 3 months served in addition to probation, depending on sensitivity training. Jail, please. That's a false report. Jail for her. Jail. She has to pay for her stupidity. The jails are too full now. She lost her job and her dog. They gave the dog back, I believe, but she lost her job and her dog. I would give her lots of community service in the area that would teach her something about the real world and have her make a large donation to a food bank or an animal shelter. Jail with parole, eligibility in 4 months. For the Karens of the world, they need consequences. She should face some jail time. Ask the person who she called the cops on what should happen to her. Jail for putting a man's life in danger. Lock her up. Sorry, I couldn't resist. So the majority say jail. There are a few scenarios that say there is a little more of a tempered reaction, possibly. Maybe there is some talking that can happen first before you just go straight to jail. So in this live stream, I am not doing a reading. I want people, I'm going to give you a number here in a minute. I want you to call in and tell me what you think. What would you do about this? If you want, you don't have to, but tell me what you would do. Now you got 1 minute because I have to pay for your call, so you don't have all day. And don't super chat me so you can talk all day, because I still have to pay for your call. So you got 1 minute. Tell me what you would do. Would you call the cops? Not call the cops, but would you send her to jail for a year? Do you think that's a fitting punishment? Do you think that's too harsh? The man who it was perpetrated against forgave her. So can we continue to be outraged for him? Or is she, because she is really a pattern of behavior, therefore an example has to be made, but it does not stop because we just had another one. not too long ago. So do you start making examples of all of these people, or do you go case by case? So give me a moment and I will set it up, and you can call in and let me know what you think. Okay, so you can call that number there, and let me know what you think about this situation. I'm not talking about Trump. I want to know about this situation. You got 1 minute. Not 1 minute to call, but you have 1 minute to tell me what you feel. What would you do? Would you send her to jail? Would you try to rehabilitate her? Because if there's a bunch of these type of people, then what do you do? All right. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So tell me what you would do.
I think people need to have pay for the consequences because we're not a society that understands shame anymore. And in Confucius, he said you have two choices, shame or punishment. And punishment was not what he preferred. He preferred people to have a sense of shame. But if they don't, they just become a bigger danger.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I enjoy your readings. I'm a reader too. I love the way you interpret cards. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Can you hear me?
Hey, Johnny. Hey, Johnny, this is David.
Oh, how you doing? Tell me what you think.
In regards to the topic you've got going on, actually, I'm thinking the first thing needs to happen with her is she needs to have a mental evaluation done. In watching that video, just the level of panic and fear that she was showing helped her basically take a situation that we could sit back on TV and watch objectively and really, in her mind, blow it out of proportion. So you kind of need to understand what's triggering her with that fear. And then once you've got that addressed, I think at that point it's more of a community, it's probably be more of a community service, introduce her to the Black community to show that there really wasn't anything to fear, and then use that education to enlighten her and get her out of that lizard brain mode that she's in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so instead of just throwing her in jail, we need to address the problem first.
That would be my guess. Now, because she didn't come across as being a malignant person where that would be kind of useless. And it's like, okay, you just need punishment. I think there's some fears that she needs to address that haven't been addressed.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Johnny. Have a good one.
You too. Okay. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah, this
Okay.
is GGP. I'm the one who wrote the statement with Chauvin's name in it. You know, the issue I have with her, this is a bigger symptom of our society. And people like this have a sense of entitlement, and I can do anything, and I don't have to pay for the consequences. I would throw the book at her and give her jail time. I don't see anybody else getting the benefit of a psychiatric evaluation. And if there's no consequence, there's no change to the behavior.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
Thank you very much. Okay. Can you hear me?
Oh, hello?
Hello. What do you think?
Oh, hi. Okay, hi, this is Jewel. I believe that she deserves punishment. This has gone on way too long that, people use the law as a weapon against people of color. And I also believe that she does have malignant narcissistic traits. And in that vein, there is no cure, there is no help. So while they may diagnose with that, this behavior is going to continue. This is why you see 70-plus-year-old narcissists acting the same way they did as 14, 15-year-olds, because there is no growth, because they are unable to. Their brains are wired a certain way, and studies have shown that, and there's just going to be no change. And not only while she was abusing him, she was abusing an animal. So I just don't see that her behavior will ever change. And I think people need to realize that there are some mental disorders that can never be cured. And that's just my opinion.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jules.
Thank you.
All right. Can you hear me?
Hi, this is Martha.
Okay. Tell me what you think.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Tell me what you think.
Okay, I think I'm a mother. I'm a mother. I've raised 2 Black men to adulthood. There is an incredible amount of fear for a mother to send their children out every day. And we found that the only way to stop a behavior is that there has to be consequences for negative behavior that could have resulted in the loss of that man's life. So until the behavior is changed, and it will not change until there are consequences for bad behavior. And when I can tell another mother, you no longer have to fear for your child, then and only then will it change.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Martha.
All right, you're welcome. Bye, Johnny.
Bye-bye. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. Tell me what you think.
I don't believe that she'll actually change, but I do think a punishment ought to fit a crime. For example, she ought to go out and do community service, like repair and clean up after all of these broken windows and looting and graffitis that the city of New York wants cleaned up. Physical labor, in other words.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what you think.
Well, Johnny, you lovely person. I really think that some kind of sensitivity training should be mandated. I know it's not going to work for everyone, but at least that'll get more public shaming, and people that attempt to do that in their daily life will see it's not acceptable. And man, what are you going to do to the poor dog if you just throw her in jail for a year? And I don't know. It seems like they need to have a kind of solution that helps everyone
A little middle ground.
as much as possible.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Can y'all also hear the caller? I want to make sure y'all can hear the caller too. So let me know if you can hear. Because when this goes up on YouTube, I'd like to have people other hear the callers too. All right, can you hear me?
Thanks.
All right, tell me what you think.
Oh, okay, I'm on.
Yes.
I think I think that she should do her time. Everyone else that has, until they change the law, that everyone is treated equally. Like if you're going to send somebody to get some type of training, everybody should be allowed training.
No.
So if she needs to do her time and they need to add on some charges up like they do everybody else and give her time and she will learn from that.
So instead of just saying she gets the training, everybody would have to get it if they were to break the law. So equal treatment for everyone.
Equal treatment for everyone until they change the law.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can,
All
John.
right. Tell me what you
I'm
think.
wondering if the problem is that she's been born and she lives in a racist household, and how do you change racism if you don't start it from when they were younger? So she does need sensitivity training. She also needs to pay a fine, and also she needs to go to jail for a short time and see what it's like to be treated like a person who has a disadvantage in their life, born of a different race or a different color. So she learns what it's like to be not treated with privilege. So she needs definitely sensitivity training, and community service would make a big difference in her life and other people's lives. Thank you.
Thank you. It's interesting. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I
All
can.
right. Tell me what you think.
Well, I think you're an amazing reader,
Oh, thank
first off. And what I think about this are just clarify, who are we talking about? Just so I'm 100% sure.
Her name
Sorry.
is Amy Cooper, and she was the one.
Oh,
who
okay. I
called
know
us.
Amy Cooper.
Yeah.
That's who I thought you were talking about. Crazy Amy. Yeah, you can't, if you can't do the crime. I mean, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. And she does need sensitivity training and a fine. And I don't know if she's going to do volunteer work, maybe work in a animal clinic, because she was absolutely strangling the dog. And I think that she should face some sort of fine regarding that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Are you there? Can you hear me now?
Am I on the line?
Yes, you are.
Me? Okay. Hi.
Tell me what you think.
Hi, this is Annette. Because it's saying Florida on there, and I'm like, what? One thing people are not getting is their racism is because you don't know. This lady needs to be put in a family of less fortunate, different color than her family, and learn we're all the same. We're all the same, no matter what we look like, what color our skin are. But if you're not around that type of environment, you're past judgment. You're better. And just like if you have a DUI, you go to training. Well, you need training, and you need some good African American teachers and family members to see. We're all family. We all get along, and then she needs to go clean dog shit in a kennel to take care of the animals. Thank you, Johnny. God bless you. Love you.
Thank you. All right. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes. What do you think?
Hi, Johnny.
Hi.
This is Quinn from Oakland. I think she should do time plus be fine, but also, I don't know if you know, they had did an article on her. I think it was New York Times. They had did an article on her. This is not her second offense. She did this to her doorman.
Really?
Also, yes. So this is not the first time that this woman has done this. So I think she should be jailed, and I also think she should be fined. But it's consequences for your behavior, and this is happening all around the country. So they're going to have a lot of work to do. So I love you, Johnny. I love you.
Love you too. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Hello.
Hey, Johnny, what's up?
How are you?
Hi, this is Jay from Harlem.
Tell me what you think.
All right. People only feel their time and their money. So she should definitely do some time, and they should hit her hard. At least 4 or 5 figure fine. You know what I mean?
So hit them in the pocket because that's what they feel the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Time definitely, but money, because these officers, we want them to be better. We want them to be perfect, and then she's going to waste their time. Come on, not acceptable.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mhm. Hello again. Tell me what you think.
Hello?
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Am I on?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Hi, Johnny. I'm calling you from Louisiana. First, I want to let you know how proud I am of you. I've seen you grow and grow and grow. You're wonderful. Next, at some point, I wish that you would share with us how you started on your journey doing what you do. Now, to the question. I'm sorry, I don't want her to be punished too harshly. I do want her to learn her lesson, but I get no benefit out of seeing her suffer as when the people who are initiating this thing are getting by. The White House is saying do it, and then the people underneath the White House are doing it. I want to see somebody bigger than Amy suffer the consequences. But don't get me wrong. I want Amy to have enough of a punishment that she'll not do this again.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, tell me what you think.
This is Sandy from Florida, and I think there's a book out, and I think there should be some punishment, but also re-education. I not know the name of the author, but the book is about white women and their entitlement of, kind of like Old South, I'm white, plantation type thing, to re-educate women, white women, that they shouldn't be so put up on a pedestal that automatically what they say is gospel.
Yeah.
That it just didn't, I'm grateful that poor man was not shot. Coming from a biracial background, nobody understands until you have the talk with your sons and daughters. And it's very heart-wrenching that this is the 21st century, and I'm still holding out hope. But I think re-education, yes, she has some sort of mental issues or whatever, but re-education, that people need to stand up and say, no, enough's enough. Not, and do what they're doing, get laws changed, demonetized a lot of the police force, because when you live in a neighborhood and have experienced a SWAT team to invade your neighborhood for a simple burglary, and you're pinned in your house for 2 to 3 hours or can't get to your house, society needs to change, and that's all I'm saying. There should be accountability. There should be re-education, and people shouldn't be quiet. Things have to change.
Okay.
And thank you for your readings. You're a good guy.
Thank you. All right, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, this is Cynthia. I can hear you.
Okay, tell me what you
All right. I think that she should pay a fine and go to jail, because what she did was intentional. She knew what she was doing, and she felt comfortable doing it, so I know this wasn't her first time around. Thank you.
So we seem to still have, there's more of a consensus in the comments that basically she needs to go to jail. And then here we get that yes, you can put it in jail because, she needs some consequences. But some are saying that throwing her in jail, she'll go to jail, she'll get a record or, at least a little bit, and then she'll just be out, but she'll still be the same person up here. So maybe there is there's a middle ground. Like, yes, put her, I say, this is just me and my, because I haven't given my, opinion, but yes, put her in jail. She was very comfortable with painting him to be some sort of assailant. She didn't just say that he's making me uncomfortable because he's raising his voice at me or something of that nature. She basically called the cops to make it seem as though there was some great boogeyman in the park attacking her and her little dog that she was strangling. So, yes, Myra, that a combination penalty. I think she needs both. And the police have other stuff to do. They don't need to rush to the park because you are having some sort of out with this man. And he wants you to put a leash on your dog, which is the law in the first place. So, yeah, I get it. But that's what I wanted to know. So, thank you everyone who called in. And sorry for those who couldn't get through, but thank you for calling in and sharing your thoughts. We will do this again at some point. There it is. That was fun. So, do you believe that, and you can just put this in the comments here, do you believe that it would work? Do you believe that at some point she'll learn this lesson now but forget it later? Do you think she is constantly conditioned for this type of thing, or do you think she can actually learn? from this. Because otherwise she's just doomed. And she's raising, or not, I don't know if she's raising kids, but people like her are still coming up in the world. And we get this constantly. There was a lady in a convenience store telling a Native American couple they needed to go back to their own country because she thought they were Mexican. And then she proceeded to get slapped in her face. So she got her some immediate consequence, but I can guarantee that she left that store with that same mentality. And so what do you do? What do you do? So I have to find us the next topic on our call in. Yeah, if she wants to change, which she probably doesn't, but then again, this is national news now. Maybe that has a factor in this to where her name is national news now. I guess we shall see. Yeah, that is true too. So thank y'all for coming out for the call-in show. I don't have a schedule for this. You know how I do. I don't really play by schedules, but we'll do it again for sure. Make sure I save that. But thank you to everyone who called in. Ask us another question. I don't have any more. I just had that one. And I got like 100 and something comments on it in like a couple hours. So I thought this is something we should discuss. I would like to hear what y'all had to say on that. I don't really think there's a right or wrong answer either. I think this is because no one said, just let her go scot-free. Everybody's saying there should be some sort of consequence. So I think at the very least, we're all in the same mind on that. It's just what kind of consequence do you dole out? So yeah, there you go. But I'll do this again. Thank you, me, myself, and I. Once I find a topic. So y'all have a good day, a good night for those on the other side of the world. And I will see y'all next time.